Hey, what's up, guys? If you need more leads for your real estate business and you want to know how to get access to FSBOs, that's for sale by owners, expired listings, and other information so you can start calling people, door knocking, and marketing to them, you're going to want to watch this video. You're going to see how to get access to very accurate data for the least amount of money. So there are plenty of sources out there, and of course depends on your budget as well, right? You could pay $300 for Vulcan 7, which is excellent, but a lot of people don't have that kind of money. So you can also do it for completely free. Let me just share my screen here. All right, hopefully you can see this on FSBO.com. You could just go there and you could sign up, get a login, that sort of thing. And let me just pull that up. Okay. And in here, you would put in like your zip code. You could say 60602, I think is in Chicago somewhere. Whatever your zip or city is, you could put in a radius. You could see all this sort of stuff, right? And what you would do is on one of these listings, you could just click on it. You have the address. I recommend looking at the pictures, right? See if it's updated or not, how it looks, get familiar with the property a little bit. And then when you go click on contact owner, you'll get their name and number right there. You can just start calling. Now that's obviously a little bit more manual, stuff like that. A lot of computers will let you highlight, maybe copy this, but sometimes right click and dial it. Kind of depends on what plugins, what OS you have and things like that. But there are free ways to do that. And that's to get for sale by owners all around you and talk to them immediately. Another one is on Craigslist. You could just start looking for homes for sale on Craigslist in your area. They'll have their contact info. You could reach out that way. Those are free ways to do it. There's also, I'll show you the one I use. There's also RedX. I'll talk about RedX real quick. A lot of the gurus use RedX, don't have a problem with it. And it's because they're so great at transitioning to any situation. Often the data is not correct, right? A lot of areas it's not up to date. It's old data. It's not very accurate, but you will often still talk to a person. And if you watch some of these legends like Ricky Caruth, he'll go on there and just transition, go, oh, you're not that person. Oh, and you're renting? No problem. Well, hey, have you been looking at buying a home anytime soon? And he can just seamlessly go right into, it's not even a script. It's just off the top of his head. He's so good at just going out there trying to help people with their current situation. And that's when you get really good at listening and wanting to just help people, you can do that seamlessly. So I encourage watching him if you haven't seen him before and how he does that. And in that case, it doesn't matter. You could do RedX because you don't even care if the data is accurate. At some point, you might wonder if you could just start calling any number that, but that's another story. So what I use, I like to use accurate data so that I'm not caught off guard. I know exactly who I'm calling. It's what I'm paying for is accurate data. So I'd rather do that. I happen to use this My Plus Leads program. I like it very much so far. And all you have to do is sign up. I don't get an affiliate commission or anything from this. Maybe I'll do that, but the point is not to make more money. It's just to show you what I use. You can do these savings quarterly, annually. I recommend just monthly because it's not huge savings until you know if you like it. And if you like it and you have more money coming in, you could do these other plans, but I like monthly budgeting anyway. So, and I recommend just doing this $70 monthly getting started. If you're on a tight budget and but you're willing to spend something more than just free, right? And, but again, you can get these from FSBO.com and other sources. And, but what's nice about this is you can import this My Plus Leads right into your KV core. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. And, the one I use is this 156 monthly. It adds neighborhood premium data. So you can do geo leads. You can start calling around other listings, even if they're not yours, and say, hey, you see your neighbor down the street did this. Would you like a market report and some info and see what your home's worth, things like that. And it gets that conversation started so that you can maybe win listings in a neighborhood that you were targeting or around any listings nearby, but preferably in the neighborhood you're targeting. So that's how you sign up with that. You would say, try it free. Of course, put in your info, email, blah, 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 password. You could see the discounted other than these. You can pick and choose, right? You can say, let me show you real quick. If you go back and say customize, you can actually pick which ones you want. And the more you add, if you add more than one, you're going to get savings. So you can see on their own, this is what, $80 for the two. Normally, you get them together, you save $8, So again, not huge savings, but you could just get one. You could just get FSBO data for $29. If you're really on a budget, you can get expired. Now I get probably more canceled and expired. Expired will include canceled, and I get a lot of canceled. They may or may not want to talk to you because they may like their agent, they may not. Kind of depends on the situation. And then expired, of course, is same deal. Canceled usually means, the client canceled it, so they don't want to list. So they may or may not be willing to have a conversation with you. Expired, they may not be happy with their agent. FSBO is, of course, they definitely want to sell. And that's probably the lowest hanging fruit. So if anything, I'd say at least start with that. But you may not have enough data to get through the whole challenge. Even in my big metro area of Chicago, I get about, what do we have, about 60, 70 FSBO leads right now from the past 2 weeks. So, I mean, if you're going to be calling about 100 a week, which we plan on doing, if you're calling 3 hours a day, you're going to be talking to 108 people or something like that every week, then you may run out of data, and then you'd want to switch to geo leads or go door knocking or something like that. So just to give you upfront and give you all the information you need so you can make a good decision. So once you sign up for that, I have another video I'll link to up here. It shows you how to link KV Core and MyPlus Leads, but you just basically set up an API. It's quite a lot of work. I'd show you right now, but I have to blur out all my data and client data, things like that. So it was quite a bit of work to blur that out. I'll probably do another one because some of the screen was off the screen, but it should help you if you just listen to what I'm saying to click on and things like that. And I'll link that up here. So, and put it in the description below so you have access to all that stuff. So now that you know where to get your leads from and all that, and you can go into KV Core. In fact, I'll just show you here. So once you sign up for MyPlus Leads, whatever data you have will show up here on the left in their categories, and you can go to options, preferences, right? And default coverage, just review it. It's going to show the radius and the neighborhoods and things like that. And have a radius here. It'll show you all the zip codes, how far they are. Email delivery options, you can have it email to you directly. I have it go to KV Core, so my KV Core is emailing me, so I don't need additional emails. Under additional settings, you would put in your MLS credentials. I recommend checking the separate list for FSBO and expired leads. It will tag them separately in KV Core no matter what, but I like having this so that I can see the separations under when I log into MyPlus Leads. So automatically augment neighborhood data. I got to read about that one. Not sure what that does. If you know, let me know. So you have data integration options, right? Yeah. So if you go to your provider for data integration, you can link this to any of these things in here, right? So you got Follow-Up Boss, Line Desk, if you use those, go high level, Zapier, things like that. But if you're at EXP like I am, or some of the other brokerages, you may use KV Core. That's what I use. So you go ahead and click on that. All right, so we're going to have to generate an API key in KV Core to give to MyPlus Leads. And that's how MyPlus Leads basically will be able to post with RESTful commands, they call them, into KV Core. Once you're in KV Core, you go down here to Lead Engine, click on that, and then you'll see Lead Dropbox on the upper right, and it says Sync Any Lead Source in KV Core. So you click on that. Scroll down here to where it says My API Tokens, and you would generate a new token for contacts. I think I just left users clicked also, and you would create that. You would copy this token, right? It's confidential, so don't share that. And then you'd go back to MyPlus Leads, and when you're generating it for KV Core, you would paste that in here. Again, don't let anyone see that or share it. When you save it, and as long as you have this sync all, it'll start just pumping them into KV Core within the next couple hours. And roughly twice a day, you'll see more leads coming in. You should be getting alerted from KV Core. And let me show you what that looks like when you're in KV Core. If you go down to, or up here to Smart CRM and come in here, you'll see they all come in with prospect. And it'll have that status, right? And you'll also get under show notifications, you may get some calls saying that you got to call all these new leads. You can either snooze it or click that, and I'll show you how to use your mobile phone. It'll go out as your mobile phone number, which may or may not be desirable, so think about that. When you call from a desktop, by the way, and say dial from there, it will call your cell phone first, and then it'll call the client with the smart number. And the smart number in KV Core is when you click on your name in the upper right, it's this number right up here. Now, if you're not paying the extra $27 a month for your dedicated smart number, it's going to use this shared smart number for your brokerage office, for your metro area usually. And that means if the contact reaches back to you, it's going to round robin to whatever agent supposedly contacted them next. But I've seen it just go to any agent. So I'm not confident it does go to the next agent or the last agent that contacted that client that has them in their KV Core database. So I think it is worthwhile if you're going to be calling from your smart number, texting, or doing anything from your smart number, like dialing from the desktop version of KV Core. I recommend you pay the $27 a month and get your own dedicated smart number. You can do that in the marketplace down here, and you would just click that, search for smart number, and you'll see it. You'll get your own dedicated one, and then you don't have to worry about losing leads and things like that. I'm going to do that shortly. I'll probably do it during this challenge, so I'll show you how to do that. But the other way is just to call from your cell phone, get the KV Core app downloaded on your cell phone, and you can dial right from there. And it's nice. The only thing I don't like is now when you're typing in the notes for the call to add notes for that caller, it's more cumbersome because you're on a cell phone. Now, I suppose you can get a Bluetooth keyboard or something like that. Probably look into doing something ridiculous like that because I like you could also talk, right? You get a microphone and talk instead of typing. So we'll go through that. And I do like the dialer on the KV Core app very much. And I like using my cell phone number to dial people. It's just that caveat of adding notes is more cumbersome. You could pull it up on the desktop and add the notes, but the issue is that when you call from the phone, it's already logging call notes and it wants you to put in something for call notes. And now if you add them on your desktop, it shows up as two different calls almost, like you called them twice at the same time. And let me show you this real quick. I'll put the phone up on the screen here magically. But once you've downloaded the KV Core app, it looks like this. And you click KV Core Mobile. It loads, right? And you see at the bottom here, you have dialer. So you click on dialer. You'll have overdue calls. You have today's calls. I like to go dial hashtag at the bottom and click on, you'll see FSBO right there or expired. So now I have 69 leads in FSBO. I can click that and just hit dial now. Now we'll look at the settings real quick on the upper right. And you'll see call countdown at default setting to 5 seconds. And it's literally a countdown timer. I've changed it to 10 just to show you how that works. And post call notes, you can create, this is kind of a template, right, for each call. And so you can add all that kind of stuff. But if we cancel out here and I just hit dial now at the bottom, you'll see in the upper right, it's calling in just a few minutes. So I'm going to pause that so we don't actually call them. Because when that countdown gets down to 0, it calls the person and then it will let you log the call notes and everything like that. You can also say dial now at the lower right. And that's why I don't mind if the countdown is 10 seconds or longer, because you could always hit dial now. As soon as you're ready, you can skip that contact on the lower left just by hitting skip. And that's how that works. So real easy. And we're just going to call them. We're going to use the script. Again, that's at kramernow.com. If you sign up, you'll have access to all my scripts in a Google folder, things like that. And let's go. Let me know if you're struggling with anything, you need help with anything, if you have questions or whatever. But we got to do this challenge, guys. I want you to start calling tomorrow. You should have everything you need to get started and just start dialing and get over those fears, right? So your first few calls are going to suck. Just assume it. They're going to suck. They'll probably go better than you think, but you can do it. Trust me, if I could do it, anyone could do it. And you just start calling people and it's actually becomes fun. You're having conversations with people that want to sell their house. So especially with the FSBOs. So let's go get it, guys. Let me know if you need help with anything. I'll see you later. Have a great day.